Bellator 199 kicks off this Saturday night with the next installment of their heavyweight Grand Prix tournament, as the promotion's light heavyweight champ Ryan Bader faces off with King Mo Mohamed Lawal in the main event. The winner of that bout will advance to the next round of the tourney to face Matt Mitrione in the semi-finals. The co-main event of the evening will see the Bellator debut for longtime MMA veteran Jon Fitch, who puts a 4-fight winning streak on the line against dangerous knockout artist Paul Daley. Also on the card, we have another longtime MMA vet in Sheikh Congo meeting young gunner Javier Ale, but not before two up-and-coming prospects put in some work. The recently lethal Aaron Pico is set for his fourth professional bout against a highly experienced Lee Morrison, who possesses a rather seasoned 18-8 record. Opening up the main card, the 7-0 Carrington Banks is in for a tough out against Adam Piccolotti, who looks to avoid a 3-fight losing skid. Bellator 199 can be seen on the Paramount Network at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, with the prelims streaming online at 8 p.m. ET. Ryan Bader, 24-5 MMA, 2-0 Bellator vs. King Mo Lawal, 21-6 MMA, 10-4 Bellator heavyweight GP. After leaving the UFC, Ryan Bader captured Bellator's light heavyweight belt from Phil Davis, then defended his throne by finishing Linton Vassell, and now the 205-pound king is gunning for another title in another division. Against Davis, Bader showed off a kicking game to go along with his punches, and although he isn't known for his impeccable polish on the feet, let's not forget about the horsepower that Bader brings to the table. For reference, go check out his destruction of Ilir Latifi. It's every bit of yikes. Bader is an exceptional wrestler, and it's extremely rare to see him on his back. With that being said, it should be noted King Mo's bread and butter is his wrestling game, so there's a great chance of that route not being available against Bader. Despite 27 professional bouts, most of which occurred at the highest levels of the sport, Bader has never lost a decision, so you have to finish him if you want to beat him. Bader has all of the tools to get the job done here, but can he avoid making crucial fight-ending mistakes? King Mo picked up a unanimous decision win over Quinton Jackson back in March of 2017, and after a pair of injury-related pullouts, Lawal now finds himself in Bellator's heavyweight Grand Prix tournament. Although he spent the bulk of his career at 205 pounds, King Mo weighed in for 6 of his last 7 bouts at around 214 pounds, so he does have more experience fighting at a higher weight than Bader does. Lawal might need to find a knockout on the feet here, especially against someone like Bader, who is more than capable of shutting down the wrestling of almost anyone, pound for pound, in any promotion. We have seen Lawal hurt his opponents on the feet before. We watched him beat the brakes off of Linton Vassell on the feet, and although he didn't put him away in the 2-round light heavyweight tournament bout, he definitely let his hands go. Will King Mo be able to put together something special to put away Bader and advance to the next round? Paul Daley, 40-152 MMA, 6-2 Bellator vs. Jon Fitch, the 1st of July 30 MMA, Bellator debut. Welterweight Paul Daley has alternated wins and losses in his past 4 matches, but there's no shame in falling short to the likes of Douglas Lima and Rory MacDonald. Around those L's, Daley scooped up a pair of highlight reel knockouts, the first of which being a bodacious flying knee of Brennan Ward, followed by a clever of fellow striker Lorenz Larkin. This cat is such a killer. Seriously, Daley has finished 32 of his 40 wins, and 30 of those were by knockout. Those 2 subs? Yeah, one came by way of body punch and the other by elbow. Daley finishes 80% of his wins, and that stat is absolutely bananas. In the past 6 years, Daley picked up 11 wins, finishing all but one of them. Daley hits hard is what I'm saying. Fitch better guard his grill. So, John Fitch is now in Bellator and set to make his promotional debut. We last saw Fitch in the PFL, submitting Brian Foster in the second round to capture a welterweight title. Before that, we watched him pick up a unanimous decision over grappling great Jake Shields in the now-defunct WSOF. Fitch has gone 6-2 since departing from the UFC, and just might have some more left in the tank to make a run at Bellator's welterweight belt, or maybe not. Fitch has become increasingly hittable as he's aged in his career. He was in some major trouble in that second round with Foster, getting hurt on the feet multiple times before finding an RNC. We have all seen Daly get taken down by wrestlers far worse than Fitch, so the question is, can Fitch close the distance before getting lit up on the feet? Sheikh Congo, the 2nd of October 27 MMA, 9-2 Bellator vs. Javi Ayala, 10-6 MMA, 5-3 Bellator. Heavyweight Sheikh Congo makes his return to action following a year on the sidelines. When Congo first showed up on the big stage, he was seen as devastating striker, but has since methodically shifted into much more of a wrestler, grappler. It's not uncommon to see Congo get up under somebody's hips or hold them up against the cage. At 42 years of age, there really isn't much that Congo hasn't seen in the sport of MMA. Congo has faced an array of opposition as of late, from up-and-comers to journeymen, and even holds a Bellator win over the UFC's. Can Congo avoid getting nuked by a right hand and get his salty dog veteran on? Just when it seemed as if you weren't going to know who Javi Ayala was, boom. He blasted Sergey Kharitonov with a massive right hand that separated the veteran from his senses. In his follow-up fight, Ayala took a step up in competition once again to face off with Big Country Roy Nelson, but fell short on the scorecards. Against Nelson, Ayala showed that he is capable of getting back to his feet and letting off with some unorthodox strikes that fly by at deceptively fast speeds. At least for the first 2 rounds. Ayala is going to want to keep his distance here and make the most of his athletic advantage. Yes, it doesn't look like Ayala has an athletic advantage, but he does. Aaron Pico, 2-1 MMA, Bellator vs. Lee Morrison, 18-8 MMA, Bellator debut, featherweight. After a worst-case scenario played out in Aaron Pico's professional debut, the wrestling standout rebounded with an insane left hook knockout of Justin Lin. To make things even better, Pico launched that same bunker buster of a left hand towards the midsection of Shane Crutchton, causing him to fold up like a lawn chair to get the W. The sky's the limit for Pico, who has proven to be exceptionally lethal on the feet, and we haven't even really seen his specialty, which is his wrestling. The hype train of Pico is alive and well, and quite frankly warranted at this point. Lee Morrison has a bunch of M1 experience coming into his Bellator debut. Although Morrison is on a 4-fight winning streak, the combined record of those 4 opponents is an abysmal 15-56. So, Morrison is fun and scrappy, but he has been crushing cans lately, and Pico is no can. Sure, Morrison could get the win, but I doubt anybody is betting on it. Carrington Banks, 7-0 MMA, 3-0 Bellator vs. Adam Piccolotti, 9-2 MMA, 3-2 Bellator, lightweight. Just when Adam Piccolotti was shaping up as a top lightweight prospect for Bellator, the promotion pitted him against Goichi Yamauchi, who pretty much destroyed Piccolotti as his own game. In his next bout, Piccolotti was bullied on the feet by David Rickles for the bulk of 3 rounds, making it back-to-back losses. Now, Piccolo T is up against a top prospect and is looking to avoid a 3-fight losing skid. He is going to need every bit of his jiu-jitsu background to neutralize the wrestling attack of his opponent, and might even need to win this one on the feet. It's always interesting to see how hard athletes fight when their backs are to the wall. Carrington Banks sports an unblemished 7-0 record as he takes his next step up in competition. On top of a strong wrestling base, Banks showed off some slick boxing in his previous fight with Steve Cazzola, and found a solid balance of stand-up and grappling to achieve the dominant decision win. Piccolo T is probably the most dangerous submission threat that Banks has faced to date, and this could easily turn into one of those prospect learns a lesson moments, but don't be surprised to see this one go the full 15 minutes. Will Banks leave out of Bellator 199 with his 0 intact?